Real life,
real faith, real grace.
Because it's like all about that self-development.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Christians just aren't in that space enough. So that's what you're taught. It just kind of dominates. So now I'm learning about manifestation, law of attraction, law of assumption, healing chakras. I'm wearing a ginormous crystal around my neck, like doing all these crazy things. Yet I'm calling myself a Christian.
I'm literally sitting here being like, I did all of this, not even realizing it was New Age. Like, I'm literally just listening to you being like, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
And I feel that.
There was some things I knew, like, I knew, like, tarot cards. Like, you don't do tarot cards. Like, I knew
that when I started finally, like, digging in. Because obviously there's a whole, and when people, we were talking about that yesterday, when people start, like, claiming that witchery is not real or, like, tarot cards, this and that. But it blatantly says, like, don't do those things.
Right.
Like, you need to be turning to him for your answers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I feel like those things were very, like, clear. And I kind of, like, I knew enough of the word to know to stay away from that. But it was so bad because I had transitioned from a fitness coach to a fitness and mindset coach because I was loving the mindset and, like, self-development that I was learning. And then I just got super obsessed with that, and I just completely became a mindset coach.
Gotcha.
Which is what led to me getting my life coach certification. And so I'm literally teaching people biblically how to manifest and stuff. It was, like, so bad.
Like, but think about, though, like, the growth of that.
Oh, for sure.
Like, the sequence of events that you went through to become that, but... And it's going to be so much more even out of that series. Yeah. But I feel like, again, like, these are the times that kind of God, like, allows things and sometimes in life, right?
Yeah.
And, like, for whatever reason, like, you kind of needed to, like, go through what was not right to, like, really be able to look back and be like, no, I 100% know from my own point of view. Yeah. Like, I've heard stories of people that have had similar things where they've literally gone through that first.
Right.
And they were actually, like, manifesting more demons into their life and actually like having more problems, and because of actually getting to experience like how wrong it was, they can be like, oh no, I know firsthand that this is not the way. Do you know what I mean?
For sure. So, and that's literally a part of my story is like, because what I do now is biblical inner healing and deliverance, which is all through Jesus, the person of Jesus. And so now I can connect with people and understand how they feel and how they're desperate to heal, because that's why I got into it. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm a Christian, I'm sitting in these churches, but I'm hurting and there's no answers there. And there's just like, there's only like, don't do this, don't do that. But like, no one's teaching me like the tactical tools, like the practicalities.
Oh my gosh. Which is why I love what you do so much.
Yes. Which is also why I'm super passionate about not just coming on here and bringing you guys information, but actually giving like the tactical tools on like how to heal, how to grow, how to transform into the person that God created us to be.
And this is why the testimonies though to me like are so important though, because you know how many people are probably out there and they are that girl or that guy that literally,
and they're searching.
They're going to church, they're doing all the right things that the church and society tells you to do to be a good Christian. Mm-hmm. But then they're literally sitting in that pew or that seat or whatever, and they're in pain. Like they're literally like just not. They're not there. Yeah. You know, they're either distracted, they're depressed, they're full of anxiety. Oh, maybe they're in that moment, you know, letting it all go for that one brief moment because you have someone telling you it's all going to be okay for 45 minutes. Yeah. Right? But then they get out and it hits them again. Because guess what? It's just a Band-Aid.
Yeah. It's a little like dopamine hit almost.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I love that you admit that because I was that person. Yeah. Same. Like I really was that person. Yeah. And like, I think it's not something that's talked about. No. So thank you for saying that.
And that's why I was like kind of really passionate about teaching it, because I thought, wow, these are the tools that the church doesn't teach you that you can heal. Yeah. And because what the enemy does is he takes the truth and then he twists it. Mm. So because some of it is based in truth, but it's obviously not true because they're taking out God and they're putting you are God and they're praying to the universe and stuff, right? But it's some of it is like based in actual truth. Like the word says to speak forth things. You know, that's basically what manifesting is.
Yeah. And as this one amazing woman in my life, Nina, said to me one time. She said, the devil is a liar and his breath stinks.
That's like my signature line.
Yeah, I know. I laughed so hard the day you said that to me, and I actually used it on Steve today, and he goes, what? I said, it's true. And I said, Nina told me, and he started laughing so hard, and I was like, I know it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. It was funny because like I have like a monthly membership community, and one day I was just like going in, and I was like, and the devil is breath stinks, and like everyone just started laughing. So it's like it's been my thing ever since.
I'm obsessed with it, and I was like, that's why I had to quote you on it. I'm like, as this one girl Nina told me.
I was like, wait, you know another Nina? I was so confused.
Don't. That's what's funny is I don't.
I love it so much.
He literally just went over her head.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So,
oh my God, it's so
what
good.
was it? I totally forgot what I was saying,
so
but yeah. So yeah, it's just really wild because I knew I needed to heal. The church wasn't providing the tools, and so I thought those were the tools. So I'm like teaching this as a Christian. Fast forward to, mind you, I'm getting more depressed, more anxious, like crazy.
Are you still doing New Age at this time? Though?
I'm doing New Age at this time.
Actively. Okay.
I'm teaching it. And then
Did you ever see, like some people talk about the like physical manifestations of like...
No.
You never did?
I didn't get that deep.
Thank goodness.
I always like stopped at a line because I'm like, well, I'm not saying universe, I'm saying God. And like I kept like boundaries, but it's still witchcraft. Like witchcraft is witchcraft.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
No, absolutely.
You know?
And he probably loves that even more because he's like sitting here thinking, oh, she's so secure in what she's doing right now because it is, again, like a little based on some of the biblical truth.
Yeah.
Right.
But the Lord let me do that.
Absolutely.
Go my own way. Because I had to try that. So I would not know how powerful true healing is through Jesus had I not went through the counterfeits.
100%.
And so if you're out there right now and you are doing those things, I know a lot of people get offended by saying yoga and crystals and all those things. I'm just here to tell you it's a counterfeit to the truth that you could really experience with Jesus. And I have that now, and I continue to experience that now.
Yeah.
And I will shout it from the rooftops. I'm very passionate about it because Jesus is the one true healer.
So
and
true.
That's just plain and simple. And
you have
he's
two
all
people
that you need.
like, you're saying it, but I'm here.
Yeah.
I know it too.
Yeah.
Like two people that blatantly know the difference.
Because
we've experienced it. Yeah. Trust me, it's worth it. Like, get out of there.
Yeah. And actually, when I came to this realization, I want to get to that part of the story because it's like really the most powerful part, was when my son was dying in the hospital. And so during this time, my husband, he's so amazing. He's actually here. I was like, babe, I want to launch my business. Like I want to go all in. Yeah. He literally loaned me $5,000 to pay to a coach, a business coach, but she was completely teaching all new age. Oh. So I'm in this program for 3 months. I go to launch and then the program ends and I just hit a wall. I'm like depressed. I don't believe in myself. I can't do anything. Oh my gosh. I'm like, what did I just do? And I'm expecting to like make my money back in the first launch, you know? Yeah. It was crazy. I hit the lowest point. Like I was having suicidal thoughts. Like I was literally hearing voices to take my life. Nobody cares for you. Like, what did you do? You failure. I quit my job. So I have no money, like nothing. Right. And I'm like so cripplingly, is that a word?
Girl, we're just gonna make up the words.
Whoever writes dictionaries, I need you to catch these because we are dropping new words
if
on
they
the
can
daily.
Drop the most nasty word in the planet, woke, in the dictionary. Yeah. Okay, our words will pass. Okay, we'll be fine if we have cripple. What was you say?
I have no idea.
Majestical.
So, anyways, it was like that type of depression that is crippling, where you can't get out of bed. Yeah. So it's like, how do I go find a job? How do I pick up my life from this?
I know it.
And it was just like the voices in my head were crazy. And I had let them in from all of the yoga, like the new age stuff that I was doing. And so I went through like months of this. And then I got pregnant. with my son. And it kind of like, it was like that light that like
I didn't realize that
me
was the
out.
time.
Oh yeah, it was during that time. Oh yeah, it pulled me out of that depression. And so, mind you, while I'm pregnant with my son, I'm still wearing a giant crystal around my neck. I'm manifesting the perfect pain-free birth.
Hold on. I love you so much.
The perfect pain-free birth.
The face.
Steve's face, if you guys
don't
can
be
see
judgy.
him.
No, I'm just kidding. I love you.
And God was like, okay, wait and see if
like,
this manifesting stuff works. Okay?
Do I have a story for you?
Yeah.
He's like, let's have
praying,
some fun with this.
Yeah. I'm also praying to him, and I'm like manifesting, and I'm doing all of the things. And so I honestly had a really great pregnancy, like besides getting this massive, probably bigger than I am right now. It was a great pregnancy. And so I was doing an all natural water birth because I wanted to go like completely like as holistic as I could. You know, we're like holistic girlies. We're crunchy girlies.
Yeah.
And I was like,
crunchy.
yeah, I didn't want any like interference like with hospitals and stuff. And my midwife was amazing. She would like pray with me at the appointments and stuff. And she knew my vision and she respected it so much.
I love that.
So literally go into labor. 26 hours in labor, like no epidural, nothing, just laboring naturally for 26 hours. Finally, my water breaks. And it was while my midwife was actually like checking to see how dilated I was. And my water broke. And I will never forget like the look of sheer terror on her face.
No.
When my water broke, I was like, something's
She
not
already
right.
knew something at that point?
So when my water broke, there was meconium in my water. Which if you're not familiar with...
I have no idea what that is. Thank you for going to it.
If you're not familiar with meconium, it is like the baby's first bowel movement. It's like a poop. But it's like a very sticky tar. It's not like a normal like poop. Like it's even hard to get off their skin. Oh, no. So it's very dangerous because if they swallow it and it gets in their lungs, like it's very, very dangerous. And that's exactly what happened. So we're sitting there. She's like, there's meconium in your water. We need to get you emergency transported to the hospital. And all of a sudden I go from this peaceful like labor where I'm like breathing through the contractions to fear overtakes my body. I feel every ounce of pain. I'm like shocked and I can't believe this is happening to me. I'm manifesting a pain-free perfect birth. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah. This wasn't supposed to happen.
Right. Yeah. So all of a sudden it switches. Like my husband and I talk about it. It felt like we were in a movie. Like I could cry thinking it's like,
imagine.
What?
I can't even, especially too, like literally coming from something that literally was like, it's all going according to plan.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then like, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So all of a sudden we're like in this ambulance and we're getting transported to the hospital. And I don't have time to like go into detail about every single thing, but even that was like a movie. It was like crazy. It was like raining and there was a car wreck and my husband was behind the ambulance, like romping curbs with him to like get past the wreck. And we get to the hospital. I'll never forget going through the aisles on a stretcher, just being like, is this real and what is going on?
Can't imagine.
Like, I feel like the Lord will give you some like a weird out of body like experience. Because if I really connected with that moment, I would pass out of the weight of like what I was experiencing.
I got goosebumps you saying that because like, wow, there was some truth to that. Like,
yeah,
like like
it was
like us ourselves would not be able to actually.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to handle it. Yeah, for sure.
That's true.
And so I get there and they literally give me the option. They're like, we can give you Pitocin, which is like a drug that speeds up your natural labor to have him naturally, or we can do an emergency C-section. And like, as much as I was against all of the like procedures, I knew I was like, I need to do a C-section. Yeah. And it was like unanimous. Like he was on the same page. My parents had gotten there at the time. We were all like C-section.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised the doctor even gave me that option because, so what ended up happening is I had a C-section. I almost died, which I never even tell that part of the story because it doesn't matter to me. Because what did happen was my son, he came out and he took his first breath and he inhaled completely the meconium and they had to resuscitate him immediately as he came out. Yeah, so when you have a C-section, they put this like huge curtain up so you can't really see what's going on, probably for good reason. So I had no idea what was going on. I just know like they took my baby out and I didn't have him in my arms yet. I had no idea that they were resuscitating him. He literally, his first breath, he just inhaled the meconium. He probably had already been swallowing it. And so they literally had to resuscitate him at birth. My husband was standing there and he's just like, I think everything's good. You're fine. Like, stop freaking out. Like, not even realizing like they are resuscitating my newborn baby.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like that mom who wanted to do the skin to skin, like everything's so healthy and so good for the baby. And I'm just like, what is going on? So finally they wheel him past me. I'm still laying on the table and I'm just like, where's my baby?
Yes.
And he's trying to keep me calm. He's like, they're fine. They got him. And so I'm like, okay. So literally we go into this little room. I have to wait probably, it felt like an hour or two, like before they're like, he has to be life flighted to a NICU that was like about 45 minutes to an hour away. It's actually one of the best NICUs. I cannot even imagine. Yeah. It's actually one of the best NICUs. It was Advent Orlando. And so they're like, we'll bring him by your room so you can see him before he gets on the helicopter. And I'm like,
helicopter?
Yeah. Like that, he literally had to be taken by emergency helicopter. Thank you so much for tuning in to part 2 of this episode of the Let's Get Biblical podcast. Part 3 will be released and dropped on Tuesday. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified. If you're watching a little bit later and those videos are already available, be sure to check the description below. If you are interested in listening to the full episode, be sure to subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple, where you can listen in to the full episode. We pray that you were blessed, and we'll see you on the next one.